we all do things that are stupid, like spending crores on weddings and putting insane effort into getting into a college that's 1% better. Today, we will try to understand this behavior and explain it using hidden human motives. In India, for example, overall the country spends 80% more on weddings compared to the entire entertainment industry.
Wait, what?
Okay. We spend more on weddings than we spend on education, and almost as much as we spend on healthcare.
I knew that we spent a lot on weddings. I didn't know those numbers.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Right? And when you think about it, it's a waste. All that money is just gone. It's not helping the couple start their new life, right? It's not an investment. It is like burning money.
It is.
Okay? So why are we doing this?
I want to use the word show off here, but that seems very brutal.
No, that is actually the correct answer, right?
But I mean,
But
yeah,
why is showing off so important? One of our fundamental urges is that
show off?
ideally, what we want is to be seen by the people around us as important or powerful or rich or something like that.
Okay.
Technical term, psychologist term for that would be that we want to be seen as high status people. And how do you show that you're a high status person?
By showing off?
By doing the kinds of things that high status people do. Okay, we have done an entire episode on signaling. Okay, and the signaling has to be honest signaling, right? Anybody can claim to be high status, but not anybody can spend a crore.
Right.
On something completely useless.
Right.
So that is the basic idea. You want to prove to everybody around you that you are high status.
That makes sense.
Right.
That makes sense. Okay. But how does that relate to education now?
Well, let's come to education, right?
Okay.
What would you say is the primary purpose of education?
To gain knowledge, to use that knowledge for future.
Most of the students are really not gaining much knowledge in education. Okay, think about it. Okay, they're not there to gain knowledge. Okay. Brian Kaplan, an economist, has a book called The Case Against Education, where he points out some basic facts. Right?
We'll leave a link
If the
to the
education
book
that the college gave you was really so important, okay, why would people be struggling so much to get into an IIT or a Stanford when that same education you can get for free without having to appear for any entrance exam just by looking at their lectures online?
Oh yeah. Yeah, Stanford makes their lectures online available for free, and IIT also.
Right. And I mean, pretty much most colleges,
But the allure is IIT. The allure is Stanford. Like,
it's not the education, it's not the knowledge. Right? It's the
name, it's the brand. It's the status. Yeah,
you
status.
Want to be seen as a high status student.
Yeah.
Right?
IIT students enjoy a much higher status than poor BSc students like me.
Correct. One more thing. Okay. Why nobody cares about the knowledge? Okay. You have put in so much effort and you're paying so much money to go to this college. Right? Now, if a lecture is cancelled, you should be very unhappy that you are getting less knowledge for your money. Do you know of any student who gets unhappy that lectures are cancelled?
No. Not even,
Correct?
No.
I mean, imagine you went to a restaurant, expensive restaurant, and they say, well, today's food is cancelled. Would you be celebrating?
No, I would
not. But the students are, right? They do not care. Do companies care about the knowledge?
They should, right?
Let's look at their actual behavior.
Okay.
Companies come for campus interviews around the 7th semester. By that time, they have made offers. Correct. So they already know what knowledge the student has gained. They're happy enough that this person knows their stuff. Right? Now, if the student doesn't actually get a degree, should it matter to the company?
Oh, it shouldn't.
The student already has the knowledge. The degree shouldn't matter. But let the student not get the degree and the job disappears. Right?
Yes, it
the
does.
company wants that student to have that degree irrespective of the knowledge stuff.
So it's the degree that matters, not necessarily because a lot of the knowledge can also be gained on the job in training.
In fact, most of the knowledge is gained on the job. You join Infosys, they actually teach you what you have to do. I mean, you spend quite a lot of the first few months getting training,
Yeah.
right? So they have not learnt anything useful in college anyways, okay?
Yeah, this entire thing about colleges actually being just a status symbol is blowing my mind right now. You also said something about art.
Well, that's a different concept, okay? I mean, that way, I mean, you and I all, we enjoy art. That's why we know why art is there.
Yeah, I mean...
But let's try to think in terms of nature,
Okay.
right? Why would nature cause art to exist? It's a complete waste. It doesn't help in getting you food. It doesn't help you in being protected from predators. So why...
Could it be that we see art in nature and not necessarily nature promotes art or lets it happen?
No. I mean, you could continue seeing art in nature. Why do people actually go
like
and
what
create
kind of art
themselves?
are we talking about in nature that nature lets happen, or
I mean,
art
all
that is
art-
useless?
See, all art is useless as far as nature is concerned, right?
Because it doesn't have function?
Because it doesn't have function.
Okay.
And nature doesn't like wastage.
That's true.
So is art wastage?
Should be technically by this
No,
logic.
but same thing,
Huh?
right? People want status. Art gives them status. Now let us ask,
what?
why does art give status?
Yeah, why?
It's the same thing as the peacock's tail and the burning money in a marriage, right? If you do art like singing, dancing, okay, what it is showing the whole world is a few things. One, that you have time to waste. You can afford to waste time. Think of how powerful or wealthy or whatever you must be.
This is hurting me that art is being considered a waste of time, but I know what he's saying from a logical standpoint.
Yes,
I don't
exactly.
agree with it necessarily, but I understand it.
Correct. Second, it is showing the whole world that you have big muscles that work well, you are healthy. It shows that you can memorize things like dance moves, that you can coordinate with your other dancers, right? So these are all signals
Oh, yes.
of your reproductive capabilities.
If
right?
dancing was the only signal of reproductive capabilities, I would have failed. But yes, not just dancing, any kind of art. So this applies to painting as well. This applies to voiceovers as well, which is why Amitabh Bachchan is such
I mean, let me give an example from nature, okay? And let's do something other than the peacock this time.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are bowerbirds. It's a little itty bitty bird, so small, like a few inches. Okay. But a bowerbird, male bowerbird, to impress a female bowerbird, creates an entire structure from twigs and branches and leaves and whatever else it finds. Sometimes the structure can be as much as 9 feet high. Right?
Wait, this
It'll be
bird
an
is just a few inches and it creates... Wow.
It creates a structure where David Attenborough could crawl inside and then do like a TV thing from inside. Okay. And why is it doing this? Because later on it brings a female bowerbird there and shows her, look at what I can do. Okay. It's like, I am so awesome that I can do this thing and still not get caught by predators, still not go hungry. Imagine what I can do for you and your children. Okay? Take a look at what a bowerbird creates. That is where art comes from. Okay?
Oh man.
So let's now go to the most important question of all.
Yes.
Right? Why can't we get out of the rat race? A simple logic is this. I think about 100 years back, economist John Maynard Keynes said that as productivity increases, as technology improves, we would all have to work for just 15 hours a week. 100 years later, productivity has increased, technology has become godly, and we are all not working.
We are working 60 hours a week now. We are working
what
4
happened?
times of what he predicted.
Happened?
I ask
What went
myself
wrong?
that question every single day. What happened? Why aren't we working less when productivity is more?
What is the pattern that we have seen so far? Why don't you try to guess the answer?
Status.
Status.
So by working more, we are...
See, the main thing about status is that it's not an absolute. You know, your status is relative to everyone else around you.
So some idiot decides to work 42 hours instead of 40 hours a week.
That person gets more status. So now you have to work 43.
You.
Right.
You are responsible for us working 60 hours. You.
Right. So whenever somebody says that, oh, productivity will increase and then we won't have to work so much, is under the impression that we have a certain set of needs, and as soon as those needs are met, we will stop working, right? Where
That's
the
a-
needs being like food and so on. But really our need is status, and that never stops.
You're redefining the entire Maslow's hierarchy here. Like status is now at the bottom of the bottom of the pyramid.
No. What has happened is that for a lot of people in the world, the bottom layers of the hierarchy have been taken care of by technology advances.
Okay.
Okay, and improved trade and economy and all of that. But evolution does not allow us to rest. You still have to keep fighting for status, because that is a zero-sum game.
Hold on. Status and why would evolution care about status?
Right, so that's the thread that ties together all these examples, right? All of our behavior can be explained in terms of evolution. Okay, everything.
Status.
Yes, all of our behavior can be explained by going back to the savannah where we evolved.
He loves going back to the savannah.
Imagine you're a bunch of humans in the savannah. A human alone would die within days or weeks.
Yeah,
Okay, humans cannot survive unless it's a group, a tribe.
that's true.
Okay, now a tribe together, they hunt together and they get stuff together and they protect each other together and so on.
Again, too.
Do everyone get an equal share of whatever the goodies that the tribe gets?
No.
No,
They should, but no.
that's not how
Yeah.
things work, right?
Yeah.
There are always there will be some people who want more.
There'll always be a tribe leader who will demand more and get
actually
more.
not true. It used to be when everybody was just hunter-gatherers, it was much more egalitarian society. As we became more sedentary and our society became more complex, there were layers, there were tribe leaders and kings and soldiers and workers and beach mein artists, right? So what happens is that the people higher up got more of everything, right? They got more of the food, they got more of the comfort, they got more of the time to do art, and they got to have sex with more people.
Yeah.
Okay, which means that now everybody is striving for two things. One is to be part of the group. We saw that in episodes on conformism.
Group conformism, group conformance,
But
yes.
once you're part of the group, the thing you're sure you're going to be in the group, then you're striving for status within the group. Okay, and that has been around for long enough. Not just humans, but even before that, in the apes, monkeys, this has been there. Right? So it has evolved over a very long time, and we are stuck with those.
So that explains the rat race.
Yes.
How does that explain something like education?
Well, basically, you want to prove to people that you are more powerful or you are smarter. You are the one to be relied on in times of difficulty, right? And a Stanford education, well, not a Stanford education, a Stanford degree proves that.
Okay. And how would a wedding work in terms of evolution and the savannah?
Well, if you, let's say in the savannah, right, you are just throwing away food and interesting fruits and meat and giving it to everyone, you are signaling to everyone, see how much I can procure. You better be friends with me, because when times are bad, I'll be the one who can provide you food. So when there is time to elect a new leader, time to give, get married, who's going to get preference?
So we basically evolved to accrue status.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's a very different angle on evolution that I hadn't really thought of, but now it's starting to make sense.
Yes.
Evolution explaining what we do through the lens of status. Wow.
Right.
Blowing my mind right now.
And all it comes down to costly signaling, right? So I think what you should do is, if you haven't seen it, take a look at our episode on costly signaling. That will explain a lot of modern life to you.
Check it out. Shrikant, Naveen, FutureIQ, costly signaling.
Thank you.